These are the 2025 social media trends you need to be paying attention to if you want to drive business results next year. I'm Kip Russell, Director of Social at Spinning Tech, an advertising agency. I also have 1 million followers, so I really live and breathe this stuff. This is what I'm paying attention to and sharing with all my clients. So, number one, live streaming and social shopping. A lot of businesses are really skeptical or hesitant to go live, but this is actually the biggest opportunity moving forward. All of the initial thought leaders are there. All of the most cutting edge brands are already there. Let me explain. Whether you're a small business, a solopreneur, whether you're a large business, a Fortune 1000 brand, live streaming can be an easy way, an affordable way to actually get in the game, like to capture attention, to build audience with your consumers. I'm going to give you a couple practical examples here, and this ties directly into social shopping, where all of this is going. Is the channels like Facebook, Google, right, TikTok don't want you to leave. TikTok's in fact creating its own Amazon, where they can, influencer post content. It goes directly from manufacturing to the person. So this is going to get really crazy in the next 3 to 5 years. So you need to jump on this ASAP. So live streaming, at the end of the day, if you're a solopreneur, you used to sell to your local community. Now your local community is the 1,000 or 10,000 people watching your content online. You can have a very viable business. If you're a restaurant, I'm seeing restaurants streaming from their kitchen. I'm seeing lawyers streaming and just doing Q&A. Now this is just capturing attention and broadening your audience and developing that personal attention. It doesn't have to be that complicated. If you're a big brand, let's say you sell fitness products, you could have a gym workout session with an influencer, and then you talk about how the product fits into their life. You can do that every day. You can do it at scale. So you don't have to make this complicated. If you're a franchise business and you think you're boring, at the end of the day, you could just someone come on, a successful franchisee, talk about their business, what made them successful, how they signed up, what were their pain points. Instead of just recording it, making it overly polished, you just go live and be authentic. That's what the world wants nowadays. That's why you're seeing all long form content really winning, and all the channels want it long form, sticky, keep them on the platform, sell direct, right? So those are the number one and two biggest trends I'm seeing in 2025. You even have thought leaders like Gary Vee doing that. So if the biggest, marketing business influencers in the world are doing it, you should be paying attention as well. Number two, AI influencers. They're going to be testing, and you're going to see it everywhere. You're seeing AI content already everywhere, right? Images and videos. But at the end of the day, you're going to see AI generated influencers. What does that mean? You either select an avatar for your business, or you can clone yourself, and you can literally write scripts and render a video where it looks almost as real as this. Eventually, it probably will look this real, and you can edit things on top. Go to the AI surfer on Instagram if you're looking for a great example. I can see a lot of B2B companies going this route. As your executives are busy, you can just clone a few of them, and then you can render content, or you pick an avatar for your business. This is very scalable, so I can see a lot of businesses adopting this next year. We'll see how the public reacts to it. And the social channels already make you they flag it if it's AI generated anyways, so you don't have to worry about the transparency. It's going to be there. Paid social, biggest trend 3, simpler strategies. You don't want to have multiple ad sets, multiple campaigns. You want to be very simple and make sure you're being very effective and leaning on best practices with your meta campaigns, right? So example, not having too many more than a email collecting campaign, a traffic campaign, and a conversion campaign. A lot of times you don't even need to have a remarketing campaign. Meta's going to do that already as a machine learning and AI figures people who are really high intent for you. And we're seeing the best results with that. In doing these strategies, you need to think big picture. You need to be very strategic about your creative, speaking directly to your audience, speaking to their pain points, using dynamic testing, and making sure your landing pages are on par. Really effectively testing your landing pages is going to be crucial moving forward. I think we're on 4 here. This is probably the biggest trend, and maybe for traditional digital marketers, the hardest one to digest. But now social media is the new search engine, and I don't mean just social. It's really search engine everywhere, right? You need to expand your SEO tactics to the broader strategies that are out in digital. All the channels are moving this way, and they're kind of all becoming like ugly cousins, right? At the end of the day, Google's adding video and social posts and all this good stuff. But with AI, people are, certain things they search, people are going to go to Gemini and ChatGPT, but also younger generations, and really all of us, are going to Instagram to find that shoe, right? We're going to get testimonials from TikTok. We're searching more in social search engines, and they know that. There's already search placements for Meta and TikTok, but people are going to YouTube to find information, right? So you need to be expanding your SEO. Really, with your social content, they need to be in lockstep, so you're expanding and doing the right things to, SEO your social post, SEO your YouTube videos. If you have a really successful blog, how do we make social content that does the same messaging as people start to move to these other channels and adopt search engine everywhere? And that was coined by Neil Patel, who's one of the biggest thought leaders in marketing, right? So you need to be really focused on search engine everywhere moving forward as all of this changes, especially as we get into shopping, especially as we get into social shop. I mean, it's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier, and you need a video, you need a short form content strategy to implement that. Number 6 here is entering the era of business influencers, whether it's employee-generated content like me working for Spinning Tech, making thought leadership content, or the CEOs, the business owners. You're seeing more and more of them get into the thought leadership space because they can build a personal brand that ultimately drives customer retention, customer new acquisition, right? You're seeing this with the Alex Hormozi's. Gary Vee pioneered this a long time ago, but really it's nothing new. It's the Elon Musk getting earned media, right? At the end of the day, that earned media is more impactful than the marketing in some aspects. At the end of the day, if you have a personal brand or an entrepreneur or CEO who's getting millions of eyeballs, people are going to go to his business because they trust that person, right? They trust the team who's making employee-generated content. So you can see more and more of this. I think the can got unleashed maybe during the pandemic, and now I think it's going to be part of every business's blueprint moving forward. Number 7, social media is becoming less social. And what this means for your strategies, at the end of the day, people are looking for it's less about who you follow and follower acquisition. It's more about getting views. TikTok exposed that watch time is the primary metric. So people want to watch content that's valuable, entertaining, or educational to them. So make sure you're thinking of content in series based, right? If people, you sell watches, make content around the lifestyle of a watchmaker. Opening a watch up part 1, so people get fascinated and they know if I follow this page, I'm going to see more of this type of content. Long term, this is going to get to making content channels, right? Like, so if you're Red Bull, you might have a recipe channel about how you make energy drinks. You might have the sports, channels. You're going to be making content to attract an audience, and you might own, 5 or 6 handles that makes content in a series base. So you're gathering people that are interested. And why I say this is, Spinning Tech, we'll use myself as an example, Spinning Tech and Agency. We might put out marketing content, people follow us for that thought leadership, but we also want to expand into business consulting, which might not resonate with the marketing audience, right? They want education, how to become a better marketer. But we do business consulting, we might spin off another channel to attract that audience, because as we make that content, it's going to find more people interested in business content. So, personal brands might splinter off into 2 or 3 things. I'm seeing some top YouTubers do this. Their podcast is its own channel, right? Their educational content has its own channel and works together. As all the channels adopt collab posting, the primary brand can be tagged in all these micro channels. Ultimately, they all grow each other. It's more about the content builds the audience. So as you're thinking of valuable content, this is where the game's going to be going. Eventually, you might be splintering out. And this leads me to number 8, which is going to be micro communities. You're seeing people paying for thought leadership Slacks, or moving people to Blue Sky, or different little small micro, Facebook groups is an easy example, where they're, graduating their more intentful audiences or their lower funnel audiences into smaller groups to get better customer care, more focus, more specific content. So I do think you're going to see that. And that goes back to how social is less social. At the end of the day, we're sharing less to our news feeds. It's less about mass media. You might use mass media to capture the net, but then you're pulling people into these smaller communities to get what they need, or to focus the content. Lots of influencers now will, again, drive you to a Facebook group or drive you to some sort of microsite. I'm trying to think of the site, Discord. They might drive you to their Discord to get more specific, direct one-to-one, higher open rates and content like that. So you're going to see those micro communities popping up everywhere. The last trend I'm going to give you guys is collaboration and influencer marketing is going to expand. Like I said, the collab tab is going to get more and more powerful for brands as you're doing specific, maybe custom products with an influencer. They're going to be posting more and more, and there's going to be collab posting. Why that's so powerful is, you're tapping both audiences, you're giving more horsepower to each piece of content. Ultimately, you can run ads from those posts, but think of a startup brand partnering with micro contents at scale, because you can give away free product, and they're tagging and you're building your brand that way. That's how like a Gymshark was built, right? Lots of e-commerce brands are doing that, or they're doing, a level of tier up of 5 to 6 collabs. They're making a custom shoe for college and they're tagging each other. So think of that collaboration as the new currency for that attention that you're looking for as a brand. Now, instead of dabbling in this, you need to go evergreen, get effective and efficient with it so that you can get the scale you need to really get the business result that you want. And the way you eventually quantify that, we can get into a longer conversation, is looking at it, 3 metrics: your engagement, your growth metrics, but then also having some transactional metrics that you can track. So these are the core trends that will really drive business results, brand growth moving forward in 2025. I hope you learned. Would love if I missed something, or if you have questions, leave a comment below. But I appreciate your time. Take care.